Hey there, happy Tuesday. How are you today? It is a warm day, but at least this morning was a little bit cooler when I went out for a walk, and it was pretty nice. And then the sun came up, and then it was kind of yucky and disgusting, but typical fall weather for the Southeast Texas. So today I've already had several people reach out to me, friends, clients, whomever, and they have talked about help. I'm really struggling. I'm having trouble. And I just thought to myself, I don't know how many times I've thought this. I never knew that I was going to become a psychologist with the whole health coaching gig. I just thought, this is a great accountability way for me to stay healthy and kind of stay plugged in, and because I had never in my adult life lost 45 pounds before, so this was a good thing for me. But I don't think that I was completely prepared for helping people get past the psychological barriers of getting healthy. And some of us are just ready and others aren't, and some are ready, but they just need some extra guidance, a little bit of motivation. But here's what I have found. Here's what I've learned in 2 years of doing this and helping others. There are two big things when you want to go on your health journey, no matter what plan that you decide you want to do. I've done them all. I'm pretty sure. I haven't heard of anything I hadn't done. But there are two big things. One is you need to know your why. You need to know why you decided to get healthy. And when I say why, I mean like your want to, your motivation. And motivation's a little bit different. And I'll circle back to that in a sec. The second big thing is action. Just action. Because a lot of times if we can't get our thoughts right, we can't get our emotions right, because we are definitely creatures of emotion, whether it's politics or other things that we buy, so much of it is wrapped into emotion, and boy, food's a biggie, right? So the problem with food and with food addiction is that unlike having an alcohol addiction or a drug addiction or many of the other bad addictions, is there a good one? I don't know. You have to have food, right? So those of us that are sort of an all or nothing type of person, to go cold turkey on alcohol or cigarettes or drugs is much easier than if we needed to have a little bit of it every day. And food you need to have food. So anyway, so that's why those are the two main important things: knowing your why, your want to, and then taking action. Taking some action steps, because if you never take action steps, it really doesn't matter how much you desire to do anything, right? You can just be a deep thinker all day long and you can just wish and dream, but if you never take any action, it doesn't matter. So, number one, your why, your want to, or your motivation. Motivation's a little bit different because sometimes people reach out to me because they have a wedding coming up and they're going to be the mother of the bride, and they want to look their best, and they've been trying everything else and nothing is working. Maybe you have a class reunion, you have some other big event. We would say that that's structural tension. That's good. That's a great motivator, but it will have an end time. It will have an end date. And when that end date comes and you either reach your goal weight or you don't, then you lose your motivation and you lose kind of your why. So that's why the why is a bigger deal. So your why, how you get to that, and it's can be tricky sometimes, because some people will say, well, I just want to be healthier. I want to look better. I want to feel better in my own skin, whatever. But I think if you tie your why into something long-standing and you tie it into people, that seems to make an incredible difference. So some of the questions I ask, and I even ask this of myself, and your why can change definitely over time. When I first went on my health journey, my why was I needed to drop about 30 pounds because I'd had 2 knee surgeries, and I felt like my second knee surgery hadn't gone as well, and it just made sense that I should lose weight. Well, that's no longer my why, because my knees are fine now. Imagine that. You drop 45 pounds and that takes a lot of pressure off of your joints. So that's not my issue anymore. So now my why is more about I want to be able to travel many, many more years than now in my 50s. I want to be one of those 70s, type of person who, 70 something like chronological age, not the decade 70s. But anyway, I digress. Who can move around and can go hiking and do things and be really active. And if I'm hauling around a lot of extra weight, that's not going to be doable. So I want to be active. I also want to be present for my grandkids, and I want to be able to play with them, and I don't want to be the grandma on the couch watching Netflix. So those are some of my whys. And so I find that when we can tie it into people, and what we want, that is huge. And that can be the motivator that can keep us going more than a date, like on the calendar, like a wedding or a class reunion or something like that. Then the other thing is, who is counting on you when you go all in on your health journey? And what will that mean for them? So if you're the parent who can't even really go out and play at the park with your kids or your grandkids, or you're the parent that wants to teach your kid how to ride a bike, but you can't run down the street with your child or your grandchild because of weight, then what is your child or grandchild going to gain from you being healthy? Well, that's huge. What is that going to look like for them? How can you play that tape recorder in your head to get there and sustain that? And so that becomes super, super important. And one of the, and to go back to your why, that's your first thing. The second thing is your action steps. What actions are you going to take? Because one of the things I've noticed is if we're having a real big mental block about our health journey or about any other type of endeavor that we really want to get into, if we will just start taking actions, then we're going to get our brain there. Just start taking actions. So are you going to meditate? Are you going to read books that will actually fill your head with positive things that you need to listen to? Are you going to find an old picture of yourself where you think you look the bomb? Your wedding day or whatever, college days. And are you going to take the step of actually printing that out at Walgreens or Sam's or somewhere, Shutterfly, whatever, and post it? Post it. Put it on your bathroom mirror. Put it on your refrigerator. Put it somewhere where you will see all day long. Put it as your wallpaper on your phone. Take action. And when you're doing these things, make sure it's positive. Don't be negative. So I've literally had some people say to me, well, I just want to put a picture of myself up right now so I look at it every day because I'm so disgusted. Don't do that. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It must be positive. So you must picture yourself where you want to be and the healthy person that you want to be, not as you are when you're unhappy, because your brain is powerful. What you focus on is what will happen. And that is why action steps become so, so important. So one of the action steps that I did, and I've talked about it many times, but I still, sometimes people just don't get it. One of the books that I first saw that was so helpful, and I don't know if you can see that or not, let me hold back, is The Overweight Mind by Jay Nixon. That was a game changer for me, because instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to cheat and it will be okay, or I'm going to cheat, or I did cheat and now I've just blown the day. Okay? This book psychologically was mind-changing for me, because instead of me thinking of, well, this one thing won't hurt. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does, because it is setting a pattern in your brain that that's okay. And every time you allow that to win, you've lost a battle. But every time you win and you overcome that, you've won the battle. You have placed a brick on the foundation of your house in order to succeed with your health journey. This was huge for me. This guy pointed out that if we will just do that and quit thinking of it as cheating, and more of, I'm not going to lose that battle today. I'm not going to lose that battle with this meal. I'm not going to do that. It's not worth it in the long run. That is a huge thing. And you don't want to set that brain pattern, that neuropathic type of connection that we have in our brain, that it's all okay. So that's huge. Action is almost as important as knowing your why, because if we never take the action, I have had friends and I have had clients, and when they're on the struggle bus, when I say, have you posted a picture from your wedding? Because I knew that you really looked good. I remember seeing those wedding pictures many years ago, and girl, you were the bomb. And they still hadn't done it after I have suggested over and over and over to do it. I get pretty real with them. I say, then you're not ready. You're just not going to do it, because if you won't even find that picture of yourself, here, let me go find it for you, because I can usually dig on someone's Facebook or somewhere that I've been tagged in. If you won't even do that, then you're not ready. You're not ready to get healthy. And then that goes back to your why. Why do you really want to get healthy? Who are you going to impact? Who is going to be affected by your health? Who wants to see you all in? Is it your kids? Is it your grandkids? Is it your future grandkids? Maybe you don't have any grandkids yet. Is it maybe your spouse wants to travel the world and you'd like to too, but you can't right now because you're physically not able? Maybe your kids want you to travel with them. And so the other day I was talking to one of my friends, and who needs to lose quite a lot of weight, and we were talking about her why. And one of the things that we both noticed is that many of the reasons for her to be ready were negative, like fear of falling down and not being able to get back up. And so we revamped that to being able to get back up and do it well, and not have that fear. And so, and also wanting to be able to travel with her kids, whereas right now she is not able to do that. And they really want her to be able to do that. And so they're cheering her on, and I'm cheering her on, and to be successful. So 2 major things in your health journey. 1, know your why. Okay, motivation's great. If you've got a wedding coming up or some other big event, great. But that's just motivation. What's your long-term why? Those things can change at any time. Number 2, action. What action are you going to take? How serious are you? Are you going to read the books that you need to? Are you going to be on the podcasts that you need to? Are you going to journal what you're eating and what you're doing? How serious are you? What kind of actions are you going to take? And if you're not willing to take the action, circle back up to your why. Find out why it is that you want to be healthy, and are you ready? Are you ready to take that step? So happy Tuesday, everybody. Try to stay cool in this nice and warm Southeast Texas weather. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.